What's going on, everybody? It's Josh here from the Game Sharks, bringing you all my very first game review. I'm going to be reviewing one of the more latest games that have released earlier this month, Titanfall. I'm excited to review this game because there's so much to talk about, everything from hype and expectations to gameplay and graphics. I'd also like to add right now that I'm a very organized and calculated individual, so my review may be very different from Sam's, but I promise to bring you just as great quality as his was. I'd like to remind you all too as well that I like to grade my games on factors that I believe are essential when reviewing any game, and these are as follow: controls, graphics and level design, story, replayability, and overall experience. I'd also like to take this time to remind you all this is very opinion based, as are all reviews of any sort, and should not be misconstrued as fact. I encourage you all to comment and tell me if you agree with anything I'm about to talk about or anything which you might disagree with. Without any delay, let's get right into the review. Titanfall is a 2014 first-person shooter multiplayer game developed by Respawn Entertainment and published by EA that released earlier this month on March 11, 2014 for Microsoft Windows, Xbox 360, and Xbox One. Titanfall has to be one of the most exhilarating games, in my opinion, that has released this year. This highly stimulating first-person shooter pits you and up to 5 other players online against an opposing team of 6 in an action-packed and fast-paced battle to the death with several tools at your disposal. Much like the more recent Call of Duty titles, Titanfall pilots are given free reign to traverse the vividly designed maps on foot through trenches, buildings, and other various passages. But unlike Call of Duty, Titanfall pilots are given the ability to free reign through the map across just about anything they can get their hands on, or rather feet. This allows the player to navigate through their terrain at much faster paces, as you can actually gain momentum as you parkour throughout your surroundings. On top of the ability to be extremely mobile via free running, you are fully equipped with a jetpack to help you double jump as needed. You might think to yourself, this will definitely help by allowing me to develop all kinds of tricks and maneuvers that could end up helping me clutch a game, right? Well, with enough practice, you would be able to do just that. Speaking of which, after you run around killing out pilots, NPCs, and Titans, you eventually gain enough points to call in your very own Titan. By setting your marker, or just by selecting Spawn and Titan option in the menu, you'll be able to summon your own Titan, of which you can eventually pick from 3 different chassis. You can either enter and control manually, or set to automatically guard a certain location, or simply follow you around like a personal building-sized bodyguard. It's easy to find ways to help you win a match during either of these 3 options. While inside your personal Titan, you'll have the ability to cover more ground as a walking metal behemoth, menacing around, firing at the enemy team, or my personal favorite, punching them into a billion bits of human giblets. You can also run over minions by simply walking or running over them, which is as equally enjoyable. At first, the Titans may seem a bit overpowered as you realize the entire opposing team has decided to jump in their Titan simultaneously, but as a pilot and within your Titan, you are given plenty of tools in order to crush your opponent, so don't fret. As a pilot, you are given anti-Titan equipment that deal massive damage from a distance or up close. On top of your anti-Titan equipment, pilots are given the ability to jump atop the metal beast in order to reveal a vulnerable spot in which you can fire at and deal more damage to them. This is known as rotating a Titan. Lastly, as a pilot, you can hack several turrets around the map that will automatically fire on behalf when your enemies are nearby. If you seem frustrated in your struggles to defeat your nemesis Titan, take solace in the fact that you have access to certain abilities known as kits that will help you wrangle that giant metal devil to the ground. Players can choose from going stealth, stimulate their actions by moving and healing at accelerated rate, or revealing their enemy location on a moment's notice on the minimap. Although you're only able to use one of these abilities for every class, and their usage is rather short and limited during each battle, you can earn these abilities through the means of burn cards that you can use between deaths as bonuses that could help turn the tide of battle. You can receive burn cards by completing in-game challenges and by completing matches altogether. However, take note that you earn much more burn cards through victory rather than defeat. The only downside of burn cards is you can only use 3 per match, and they only activate during the life in which you activate them on, meaning you can apply a burn card throughout the entire match. Once you use it and you die, that's it, it's gone. So you need to be wary of when to use them and how you do so. A player can get several game-breaking burn cards, from permanent stealth to amped weapons, all of which are much more deadly than the regular forms, to Titans that you can call in at a moment's notice. There are loads of amazing burn cards that you can choose from, but I won't go through all of them in this video. The first topic I want to take on right now are controls. Looking at the gameplay, you'll notice how fluid it is to maneuver through the game. Well, I can easily tell you that it really is just that easy. In short, these controls are amazing. The control responses are extremely accurate, that it is nearly impossible to fail at free running. It's not completely impossible to gun down enemy pilots as they parkour around you in circles. Whether you're controlling a Titan or a pilot, you'll rarely feel as though they are not moving in the desired direction that you wish. This is extremely helpful when attempting to rodeo opposing titans and escape the prying eyes of an enemy titan while on foot as pilot. Although it's easy to see how similar it feels to Call of Duty games, you'll realize quickly that utilizing your new tool to Titanfall is near essential in destroying your foes. I give controls 5 out of 5. One thing that I really enjoy about Titanfall are the maps. I'll admit I was a little hesitant on how the game would look like on Xbox One, running at a measly 720p and 60 frames per second, but I was pleasantly surprised. Titanfall offers a variety of several expertly designed maps, all of which feel significantly different from each other. And with 15 different maps, you really hope they would. Yes, 15 maps on the base game itself, and by the gameplay you're seeing right now, you'll see just how expertly crafted they are. You'll get everything from a barren desert with literally dragons roaming the area to enclosed cities and tight canals. There are only a handful of maps that I didn't quite take to, most of which offer very little cover for pilots, making it nearly impossible to traverse safely. But overall, I feel like the maps were designed so they wouldn't feel much like the others. I give graphics and level design a solid 4 out of 5. In all honesty, Titanfall's story isn't very solid, and I'll explain why. Titanfall is a mostly online multiplayer title that offers very little to the campaign department. Albeit it is there, it lacks due to the several reasons. Before I get into it, I'd like to add the campaign is much different than typical campaign modes. You can play through a handful of missions that carry very little story, but while doing so you play online with others at the same time, meaning there are other players playing through campaign mode through online co-op as either allies or enemies. During the matches, a mini story will play out through the course of 9 missions. Although quality on paper, it failed to resonate to me as a gamer who thoroughly enjoys his campaign modes. But the lacking story is the sole reason in itself why I wish the developers did add a decent campaign mode in the game. I wanted to know more by the end of the 9th mission. I wanted to feel more like a story than 9 online matches with 11 other individuals, so I put it at the bottom of my list. I'm giving the story a 2 out of 5. I value games highly in their replayability, and it goes without saying that this game has tons of it as a multiplayer game. In order to unlock every weapon, ability, and tighten the game, players must invest plenty of time into the game. By completing the campaign mode twice, a player can unlock 2 more Titan chassis that are fully customizable. The level cap for players in the multiplayer lobby is 50, and the game offers a prestige mode similar to that of the Call of Duty games. This is called regeneration. Doing so grants the player unique titles next to their name, signifying to other players their dedication, plus an experience bonus during their regeneration to help them reach the next level. Each generation experience points bonus increases as they continue up until they reach their 10th regeneration. Unlike Call of Duty games, players must also complete certain in-game challenges in order to fully regenerate, and the only downside to entering regeneration is starting back at level 1 and having to earn everything but Titan chassis all over again. It is also important to know that any existing bird cards in your deck will also remain with you if you choose to regenerate or not. As you can see, this adds plenty of replayability to the game. I'm giving replayability a 4 out of 5. Overall, I love the feel of the game. I love being able to squash minions inside my Titan to free running around the buildings and enemy Titan. I love the fast-paced feeling you get as you grab the controller and you feel pumped while you immerse yourself in the world of Titanfall. Whether you're playing to win, playing objectively, or just minion hunting, there are several ways to feel like a boss on titanic proportions. I'm giving the experience a 5 out of 5. Now that we're finished grading, let's see how it all panned out. Controls are a 5 out of 5. Graphics and level design are a 4 out of 5. Story is a 2 out of 5. Replayability is a 4 out of 5. And overall experience is a 5 out of 5. Tallying up for a total of 20 out of 25, which equals to a solid 4 out of 5 stars altogether. As you can plainly see, I very much enjoy the game that is Titanfall, and I will continue to play it for days to come. I would definitely recommend it for any 360, Xbox One, or PC user to run out and pick up their copy of Titanfall as soon as possible. Well guys, that's pretty much my entire review. All I can really say now is I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, don't forget to leave a like, comment, favorite, and subscribe. And if you didn't, let me know why. Remember guys, I'm Josh from the Game Sharks, and I'll see you guys next time.